the first question that I ask people when I do a consultation is, what's the primary stressor in your life? And the reason being is it's exact same philosophy you have and approach. When a person comes back and says, I have to get a lot of things done quickly and I have to interact with a lot of people who have different personalities and stress me out. That can give me a really quick picture of how that person's using their brain on a daily basis, which is a manifestation of that rigid pattern that they locked in a long time ago. I'll talk to another man and he'll say, I can't get out of my bed. I'm literally paralyzed here. I can't get out. And what I say to both of them is, your behaviors are your choices. I know you don't want to hear this, but I know you don't think you're choosing to stay in your bed all the time. And I know you don't think you're choosing to be all stressed out all the time. Those are choices. And you can choose again using epigenetics above it. And I break down what they could do instead. And they'll look at me like it's the most mind-boggling thing. But the power of it is, if I dig a little deeper, it likely goes back to what the trauma or the experience that they had when they were young, because our behaviors are the way that we act in the world to make our nervous systems feel comfortable. And I'm always talking about calm focus. We do different things to calm ourselves down, pornography being one of them for the people who are hooked on it, but also like maintaining a super stressy life could actually be a compensatory strategy for trying to make their nervous system feel okay through the chaos. So that's how I think about how someone's performing in the present, and then of course I ask them, like, what happened? What are some things in your life? And usually they're pretty linked up.
I love that you dropped your choices or your decisions, because I think, extreme ownership, taking responsibility for our actions, where it's got to us, and ultimately the responsibility that we're the ones that are going to get us out of it. I mean, that is the first principle of success, whether you're trying to overcome this or trying to achieve anything in life. So speaking to that, do you have like brain hacks? I mean, I guess it wouldn't really be a hack, but like, how do you get across to that guy that's like, can't get out of bed, or like, I can't get up in the morning to start my day. I got to hit snooze, 27 times or whatever. Like, how do you kind of speak from a neuroscientist or coach?
Very specific, actionable steps. And that's what people say. I love your coaching because you actually give me something to do.
Yeah.
So when a person can't get out of bed, actually, many people have difficulty getting out of bed because they want to watch pornography and masturbate. So I'm like, put your sneakers next to the bed, put your gym clothes directly next to the bed. And you're going to have to, it's not going to come with ease, but to pattern interrupt, to break the pattern, you have to have something immediately that is going to give you a dopamine release. So for the people who like to run, that's okay. For the people who don't, like, and my husband and I joke that the only reason we get out of bed is because we like to hang out and have coffee together. It's like a major motivator for us, because as soon as our kids are up, there's no private time. So like for us to hang out, to have like half-hour silence in the house, it's such a strong motivator to get out of bed. You need a motivator that gives your brain what it needs to be able to pattern interrupt. And a lot of people don't have that. And it all goes back to neurochemical release, that, you need to find what gives you that. That's why I try to create goals that are on purpose. And I'm always talking about creating purpose in your work, in your relationships, and in your hobbies or your play. So you can get up and engage right in your work if that's something that feels good. In like, for me, that would be like a hobby, or, downtime in my relationship, because that's a really good time for my relationship. But it's so motivating because it gives my brain exactly what I need. And so I give people very specific strategies. And then when I talk to them again, I say, how did it go? And
follow up on
they
it,
did them, their lives and brains are in a different place. And so just to go back for 1 second, talking about the rigid brain pattern, and you had asked like what does trauma do to the brain? And then what can we do about it? The goal is to make your brain more plastic by unjamming that rigidity. So that's why changing routines, habits, behaviors, thought processes, emotions is crucial.